Coach Ruben Amorim speaks out about the possibility of being sacked by Man United. Under immense pressure and the risk of being sacked by Manchester United, coach Ruben Amorim has opened up for the first time. Manchester United are facing a major risk of sacking manager Amorim after their English League Cup defeat to a fourth-tier side in a penalty shootout at Blundell Park. Manchester United fans have criticised the Portuguese coach as unprofessional and cowardly and are calling on the club's leadership to sack him immediately. Coach Amorim admitted there were times when he wanted to give up and leave Man United. Coach Amorim once declared that everything has to change and said that his students' performances speak volumes, referring to the fact that many players are no longer listening. The result has put further pressure on the 40-year-old tactician, who only took the hot seat to replace Ten Hag last November. Coach Amorim appeared smiling at the pre-match press conference at Carrington last night, but could not hide his emotional outburst after the shock defeat to Grimsby. He said, "To be honest, whenever Manchester United lose like this, I react like this too. Sometimes I hate my players, sometimes I love them, sometimes I want to protect them. That's how I work and that's how I always will." The tactician, born in 1985, admits that sometimes the pressure makes him give up. "There are times when I want to resign, and there are times when I want to stay for 20 years. Sometimes I like to be with the players, sometimes I don't. After the defeat to Grimsby, I was really disappointed because I thought the team was having a good pre-season, playing increasingly stable football. But then we refused like that. It was difficult to accept." It is reported that many Man United players no longer listen to coach Amorim. However, the coach who led Sporting Lisbon to the top still insists he has put the unforgettable defeat behind him and is focused on the Premier League match against Burnley at Old Trafford. "Now it's a new match and I'm completely focused on the next challenge," Amorim insisted. Many sources say that coach Amorim has only one chance left this weekend against Burnley. If he continues to fail, the Portuguese coach risks being sacked next week. British newspaper reveals that Manchester United fired coach Amorim. Manchester United's board has reportedly finalised the timing of the sacking of coach Ruben Amorim. They have also drawn up a list of 5 potential candidates for his position. According to the Manchester Evening News, although the Manchester United board have publicly backed him, they are drawing up a contingency plan if results do not improve in the next 3 games, suggesting that coach Amorim has little time left to prove his worth before October. The 3 names that coach Amorim will have to overcome are Chelsea, Sunderland, and Brentford. These teams are ranked 5th, 7th, and 12th respectively in the 2025-26 Premier League rankings. This series of matches will determine the future of the Portuguese tactician at Old Trafford, as the Red Devils have been in a serious decline since the start of the season. United are currently 14th in the table and have picked up just 4 points from their opening 4 games. They were also knocked out of the Carabao Cup by lower league Grimsby Town, which has increased the pressure on Amorim. Since taking charge of Manchester United 10 months ago, coach Ruben Amorim has won just 8 of his 31 Premier League matches. This poor performance has led many experienced players to question his tactics and training methods. A 0-3 home defeat to Man City in the 4th round of the Premier League sparked a storm of criticism, forcing the board of directors to take action. While those in power at Manchester United still confirm their support for coach Amorim in front of the media, English football experts point out that Manchester United did the same with coach Erik ten Hag before sacking him after just 9 rounds last season. Manchester United are preparing for a coaching shake-up by narrowing down their list of potential candidates. Notably, the 2 most important names are England head coach Gareth Southgate and former Tottenham boss Mauricio Pochettino. The list also includes Oliver Glasner, Crystal Palace, Marco Silva, Fulham, and Andoni Iraola, Bournemouth. The arrivals of Southgate and Pochettino suggest that United are looking for an experienced coach who can manage the dressing room well. Coach Amorim is at risk of being sacked after a 0-3 home defeat to Man City. Coach Amorim doesn't have much time left at Manchester United. Manchester United fans are eagerly awaiting their next 3 Premier League games. What happens next will determine the Portuguese's future, as well as where the Red Devils go for the rest of the season. Amorim needs at least 2 wins to secure his place at Old Trafford before October. British newspaper
Ruben Amorim
reveals
is
that Manchester United fired Coach Amorim. While failure doesn't always come from the coach, board after what happened, it's hard to deny that Ruben Amorim and his rigid system is one of Moo's problems. They have also drawn up a list of 5 potential candidates for his position. 2 consecutive According to the Manchester Evening News, Ruben Amorim, although the Manchester United board and once again backed him, the strict 3-4-contingency formation do not improve in the next 3 games. However, the Portuguese Coach Amorim has little time left to prove his worth before October, but he cannot change the 3 names that Coach Amorim will have to overcome are Chelsea, predictable. Sunderland, and opponents always know how to make things difficult for 7th and 12th. Fulham manager Marco Silva said after the 1-1 draw that it was very easy for the Red Devils to determine the future of the Portuguese system can change depending on the situation. As the Red Devils have been in a serious decline since the start of the season. 3-4-2-1 United are currently 14th in the table and have picked up just 4 points from their opening 4 games. But in all situations, they only have 2 central midfielders by lower league Grimsby Town, which has increased the pressure on Amorim. Since taking charge of Manchester United 10 months ago, to address their goal-scoring woes, has won just 8 of his 31 £200 million on attacking trio. Mateus has led many experienced players to question his tactics and training methods. The midfield weakness has yet to be addressed. To Man City Bruno in the 4th round of the Premier League have technique but lack criticism, while forcing the board of directors to take action. While hardworking those in power at Manchester United still is becoming predictable Coach Amorim in front of the media. English football experts point out that Manchester United is much higher when they have to work all around the pitch, after just 9 rounds when MU is pressing. Manchester United are preparing for a coaching shake-up by narrowing down their list of potential candidates. Remember that despite playing with 3 most important names, the Red Devils do not have a defender who is capable of controlling large spaces and handling one-on-one situations. The list also includes Oliver Glasner. During the defeat to Man City Palace, Bruno Fernandes himself pointed out that when he tried to close down Bournemouth, it was Lenny Yoro's job to get Southgate and Pochettino suggest that United are looking for an experienced coach who can manage the dressing room well. Bruno himself is at risk of being sacked after a 0-3 home defeat in Amorim's system. Coach Amorim doesn't have much time left to use the Portuguese as a left-sided Manchester United fans are eagerly awaiting their next 3 Premier League games. Along with Cunha and Bumo, next will determine the Portuguese's future as a deep midfielder, as well as where the Red Devils go for the rest of the season. Passing skills, Amorim needs at least 2 wins to secure his place at Old Trafford. But because he is not a natural central midfielder, the 31-year-old captain makes the Red Devils' midfield very fragile. In the Manchester derby, Amorim decided to push Bruno up when Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo were playing, but by then it was too late. For MU, looking nowhere is not enough. Home. Subject. Current events. Political system. Local. Event. Tourism. Happy Vietnam. Business. Products. Tradition. Museum. Image. Multimedia. Data. Home. News. Game. Now, Ruben Amorim is Moo's problem. TPO, while failure doesn't always come from the coach, after what happened, it's hard to deny that Ruben Amorim and his rigid system is one of Moo's problems. Tien Phong Newspaper. Tien Phong Newspaper. The 15th of September, 2025. Sky Sports Ruben Amorim Man United 7.jpg. Once again, MU have failed to win 2 consecutive Premier League matches under Ruben Amorim's 10-month reign. And once again, the strict 3-4-2-1 formation has been questioned. However, the Portuguese tactician is adamant that the board can change the coach, but he cannot change the system. So United are very predictable. And opponents always know how to make things difficult for them. Fulham manager Marco Silva said after the 1-1 draw that it was very easy for the Red Devils to dominate the midfield. United's system can change depending on the situation, for example 3-4-3 in attack, 3-4-2-1 in attack, 3-2-5 in attack, 5-2-3 in pressure or 5-4-1 in defense, but in all situations they only have 2 central midfielders. I'll put pressure on them with 3 players, and Alex Iwobi. It's that simple, said Marco Silva. To address their goal-scoring woes, United have spent more than £200 million on attacking trio Mateus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo and Benjamin Sesko. However, the midfield weakness has yet to be addressed. Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Mainoo have technique but lack pace, while Casemiro and Manuel Ugarte, while hardworking and strong, lack skill. Manchester City v Manchester Uni.jpg. MU is becoming predictable due to their tactics and defeats. Meanwhile, the workload for midfielders is much higher when they have to work all around the pitch. Especially when MU is pressing, the midfielders' lack of coordination with each other or with defensive players is easily overcome. Remember that despite playing with 3 defenders, the Red Devils do not have a defender who is capable of controlling large spaces and handling one-on-one situations well. During the defeat to Man City, Bruno Fernandes himself pointed out that when he tried to close down Rodri, it was Lenny Yoro's job to get to Phil Foden quickly. However, Yoro fell back, opening up the gaps. Moreover, Bruno himself is a problem. There is no room for a classic number 10 in Amorim's system. Last season, the solution was to use the Portuguese as a left-sided attacking midfielder, exploiting the inside area. This season, along with Cunha and Bumo, Bruno has been deployed as a deep midfielder. With his sharp vision and good passing skills, Bruno helps MU to launch quick attacks from the back. But because he is not a natural central midfielder, the 31-year-old captain makes the Red Devils' midfield very fragile. In the Manchester derby, Amorim decided to push Bruno up when Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo were playing, but by then it was too late. For MU, looking nowhere is not enough. Getty Images 223540069.jpg. Bruno Fernandes does not fit Amorim's strategy. In modern football, the role of fullbacks is crucial. In a system like Amorim, they are even more important, both covering the flanks of the back 3 and providing a source of goals. Diogo Dalot, Luke Shaw, Patrick Dorgu and Noussair Mazraoui are unable to do that. Against Man City, Mazraoui was particularly ineffective in attack and Dorgu was unable to get past any opponents or play meaningful passes. In short, the number of players compatible with Amorim's system is very low, and even after 10 months, Amorim has failed to reform the players, making them a crucial link. This discomfort is making MU even more weak and mediocre. Of the 17 teams that have played 31 full Premier League games since Amorim was appointed, United have the worst record, with 31 points from 31 games. While failure doesn't always come from a manager, it's hard to deny that Amorim and his strict system is one of United's problems.